Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss in this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Sammy, and he's selling his e-commerce business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Sammy. How are you doing today?
Hi Craig, I'm good, not too bad.
Good to hear.
What about yourself?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. And I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's an e-commerce business in the sports niche created in January 2020. The average monthly revenue for the business is $23,010, and it makes an average of $4,262 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 50782 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have a domain including all site content and files, trademark, supplier contracts and relationships, an email list of 8,600 subscribers, social media accounts for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and YouTube. And it's important to note that inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to active buyers. Okay, Sammy, now let's hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, so I started this whole sort of e-commerce space back in, I think, around 2017, where, I saw the sort of dropshipping model. I created a general dropshipping store and just worked with that for sort of 2 to 3 years now. And then towards the end of 2019, in December, I saw this product on my Facebook feed. And, it was quite similar to the one that I'm selling right now. And since it's in the sport niche, and I do enjoy the sports niche quite a bit, I really liked it and I got it for myself. And I actually thought that, why don't I just see if a supplier can get this product for me and sell it myself? That's how I just sort of got started with this business as well as the whole sort of general e-commerce in general.
Excellent. Yeah, that's quite a catch that we found there. So was there anything that you learned from building the dropshipping business that you applied to building this business?
Yeah, so for the first few months of this business, I stuck to the dropshipping model. An agent in China shipped the products out to my customers. But during that time, because it was COVID, we ran into a sort of raw material shortage. So the factory couldn't make any more. So then I had to sort of do bulk purchases. And I decided that, if I'm going to do bulk purchases, instead of, sticking to dropshipping model, I might as well go to sort of US fulfillment. And I was lucky enough to find a 3PL in the US who have got a fantastic service. And I ordered a stock and I handed over to this 3PL who then do the freight forwarding from China to their own sort of logistics, sort of fulfillment center in the US, and do the fulfillment there in the US for me as well. And since then, I think I've moved away from sort of the dropshipping model. I'd say it's more of a sort of e-commerce brand now. And, I've done private labeling on the product and everything, got a trademark for it.
Excellent. Yeah, good stuff. And chose a niche because it was personal interest for you. So the business has grown quite considerably in such a short time. Would you attribute that to the sort of demand for the product, or what would you attribute to this business's success to?
I think this product is quite unique for this niche because me personally, I'm quite sort of active in this niche myself, and I was attracted to this product because I've never seen nothing like it, and I really liked it, and I even got one for myself actually. And I think it's just the fact that it's unique and it's quite new, and I think people who like this particular sport, they're sort of just surprised and, they're really intrigued by the product in general, I think.
Excellent. Yeah, and sort of your brand's getting some attention on social media as well, right?
Yeah, going quite well on social media, yeah.
So it's mainly through Instagram. I see you've been, some influencers have used your product, and you tell us like how that came about and what's been going on there.
Yeah, to be honest, I never understood Instagram properly. But when I started this business, I got advice from people that every time you start a brand, you should have a Facebook and Instagram. I really wanted an Instagram because I thought I'd just go with Facebook advertising, but I still created the profile. And I remember this one time I got tagged in a post by a customer where he was sort of showing off the product. And once I got that video, I thought, it was out of nowhere. So ever since then, I've sort of tried to make it so that, our customers were sending more videos and we sort of give them the incentive that, we'll repost your video on our page if you send us a video. And since then, I think that's helped the brand get quite a bit of traction on Instagram, because, a lot of people are sort of buying the product, testing it out, posting videos, and then, their followers may then, go and buy it themselves, or, give us a follow. And I think the brand get quite a good sort of Instagram reach. And as well as that, we've got quite a lot of pro fighters and sort of pro athletes have reached out to us. And even they wanted to discuss a sort of product for video promotion. And that's what we're doing mainly as well, to sort of get that dive into Instagram influencer marketing a little bit. And yeah, it's been going quite well so far.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, it's an excellent growth strategy to have like your customers being your own brand ambassadors, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely.
So in that front, do you do any other types of marketing for the business at all?
The main one I do is Facebook marketing and a little bit of Google retargeting on the side, sort of PPC ads and that.
Okay. And if you were to keep the business on, what are some ways that you would try to grow it?
Sort of investing in a lot of stock, because me currently, I'm quite limited in terms of budget. And every month I sort of have restock about 1,000 to 1,500 units every month. And I think, if I were to be given a bigger budget or an investment, I'd go for, a few thousand more units so that I'm able to, be more aggressive on the advertising side. And I think I'd even go for sort of some really big influencers in this niche, because I've personally had a lot of marketing agencies that reached out to me and sort of asked me, if I'd be willing to do a sort of collaboration with the athletes. But because their prices are quite steep for me, I've never, gone with any of them. But I think if given the opportunity, I'd definitely, go for a few of those sort of collaborations, because I think they give the brand a lot more sort of visibility on social media and a lot of reach as well. But so I think definitely looking into more Instagram marketing would definitely be the way to go.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, I mean, sounds of the things, this business has a lot of growth potential. So how come you're selling it at this point?
Like I said, when I first started this business, when it was on the dropshipping model, it was perfectly fine for me, because I could sell as much as I want as long as there was stock, because I didn't have to pay up front. But ever since I've had to pay up front, my monthly revenue has gone down quite a bit, because I'm limited in terms of how much I can sort of sell in a month, because I do 1,000 to 1,500. But since I've built quite a good brand, I think if I were to flip it at this price I've put it at, I think it'd be better than me sort of continue to run it, because if someone who's going to sort of buy this business at the price that's listed, since if they can afford to buy the business, they can definitely afford to invest more in stock. And for them, they'll have a lot more sort of room to grow. Whereas me, I think I'm quite limited in terms of how much I can sell, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it makes absolutely sense. You've sort of done all you can with the business. You've done a fantastic job. It just needs the capital investment to sort of take it to the next level. Is there anything that you learned from that business that you would apply to future sites or businesses?
What I learned from Instagram, having that connection with your customers, I think that's really important, because I never really thought, people would send in videos randomly, from nowhere. But that's quite a big thing with this business. And I think moving forward, I'll definitely try to keep my customers engaged with my social medias and everything. And I think in general, just sort of building a brand and having good customer service is what I've taken from this business. Like having that sort of good relationship with your customers. And yeah, I think that's the main thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Sounds like you've got a good loyal following, and when you have loyal customers, they'll buy from you again and again. So that's always good for a business to have. Is there anything you tried with this business that didn't work out for you?
I think I'd say I've tried a few different sort of marketing strategies, sort of marketing platforms. I've tried to advertise on Pinterest, but sort of the procedure is quite complex if you're not in the US, because you have to install the pixel code and everything. And I've tried that myself, and I sort of ruined the code on my website, and I couldn't do it. Sort of left Pinterest to the side. And I've also tried Snapchat advertising. I've spent about, I think, 100 to 200 on Snapchat, and it hasn't really worked out for me. So I think, it's just trying out these sort of different marketing platforms. But so far, I've just been stuck to sort of Facebook, Google, and Instagram.
Okay. And for the day-to-day work that you do in this business, what type of work do you do in this business for maintenance?
So day-to-day, I think, I wake up, I probably get a few sort of customer emails. I make sure to sort of, attend to those, reply to the customers, and then see how the Facebook ads are going, check the progress on those. And I think from day to day, that's about it. I think, checking the emails and checking how the ads are going. And then on top of that, I think on a weekly basis, I sort of contact my 3PL fulfillment to see how everything's going, making sure everything's, running smoothly. And I think beyond that, on a monthly basis, check with my supplier, order another batch of stock and all that. And I think that's about it, yeah.
Okay. And what skills or requirements do you think there are for someone who's not familiar with this niche or business model?
Just being able to sort of manage an online e-commerce store is enough, because for the advertising side, you could potentially go for, if you're not quite into Facebook advertising or, Instagram influencer marketing, you could sort of hire an advertising agency to do that for you. And for customer support, you've got virtual assistants. A lot of things in this business can be done through sort of virtual assistants, so you're just let this run on autopilot mode. But I think if you're looking to run it yourself, then you need all the customer service skills. You need to know how to run Facebook ads and having that, being able to negotiate with supplier. But I think if you wanted to run it on autopilot mode, you can always hire people to do that for you as well.
What do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
I'd say the fact that, if there is no more demand for this product, because we have to sort of order the stock in and ship it to the US. So I think worst case scenario, one day no one wants to buy the product, your stock that you've brought. And I think there not being a demand would be the biggest risk. But I think right now, a lot of people are, quite interested in this. And it's slowly trying to, it's going on the up, I think, rather than going down.
Yeah, it seems to be rising at a nice trajectory. So, a lot of good stuff we've covered. So, just to summarize it all, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
This website itself is sort of, I've built it as a brand where you've got quite a good sort of social following and a really good customer base who are always open to sort of purchasing again and again, as long as you sort of offer different options in the product itself. And I think on top of that, just the fact that the numbers this business has done in general and what it can potentially do, if you sort of increase the amount of stock that you order. And I think that's about it.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. Certainly showed signs that this business could have plenty of potential. So regarding the sale of this business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Yes, I would, yeah.
And how much support are you willing to offer buyers? Are you going for the standard 30 days of email and Skype support?
Yeah, I've written, I think, 30 days of email support and 2 Skype calls on the listing. So yeah, I'd go with that.
And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
I think that would depend on the buyer, I think. I'd be open to the offer, but I think, I'd like to discuss it more with the buyer themselves to talk in further detail. I'm not really sure right now, to be honest, but yeah, I think I need to discuss with the buyer a bit more.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the 3PL fulfillment side of things, because I think a lot of people, they might be confused as to why I haven't mentioned, all the fulfillment being a part of my day-to-day workload. And that's because the 3PL fulfillment center that I use right now, they sort of handle orders and the fulfillment for me, because they have an app that connects to my Shopify website where they get the details of the order, the shipping address, and they sort of ship the order out themselves and add the tracking to my Shopify order as well. So I don't have to do any of that. And it's sort of, that side of the business sort of runs on autopilot mode. And yeah, I'd just like to mention that just in case, anyone asks.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for your time, Sammy. It's been great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you, Craig.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 50782. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.